Just running a couple minutes behind this morning. Okay, let's pull up. Come on, where are we? Just getting us up on the YouTubes here. Where are you? Oh, there we go. I think that's it. Yes. Hello. Hi, friends. Oh my goodness, lots of things. Look at all the chat going on. I love it. I love it. Hello. Hi, Karen. Yes, Karen, right off the bat, lovely reminder. Thank you. If you are watching, please do a thumbs up. That's so helpful. I can't even tell you. Good morning, Kathy from Southern California. Diane from Arizona. Hot and steamy. Well, probably not so steamy, just hot, right? Right, Diane? Ooh. Hang on one sec. There are lots of things on the floor. I mean, not too many things, but I need to do this. Public service announcement. Always, always, always remember to wipe off the back side of your phone, which is where the camera is, but also the front side. If you're doing selfies or anything like that, that is the view that I am using right now. And sometimes if you don't clean it off, it gets, makeup and stuff on it and all blurry. So anyhow, welcome, welcome. Hi, Lana. Popping in to see what is up today. Hello, Deborah. I love that, Deborah. Deborah, instead of from Seattle, is now Southern California. So fun, so fun. I hope you're settling in well, you and Joshua. Hi, Julie from hot Central California. Walking the dog before it got up to 80, going up to 106 today. Yeah, stay cool, stay cool. Hi, Rainey. Good morning, Wanda and Ms. L. Hijin. I think, have we talked about your name before? I think. Hijin. If I just butchered it, I apologize. Welcome. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's here from San Jose. She's excited to have her 7-year-old Lily join us today for her first live. Hi, Lily. Welcome. Oh, I love that. That's so exciting. That is so exciting. Sarah, I'm glad that you are introducing Lily to all this fun world of creative listing. Hopefully she's going to do a little bit of writing with us today, but welcome, Lily. So fun to have you. Hi, Shannon. Nice to see you. Yes, 118 yesterday, Shannon, in also Arizona. Yeah, well, stay inside, right? Stay inside. Be cool. Stay inside. Hi, Marilee. Nice to see you. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So Sacramento, 114. Golly, it's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. Not to make you jealous or anything, but well, Nick and I took a short drive yesterday, anyhow, long story, up the canyon, up one of the canyons by our house. So about 10 minutes away, it was 68. Now, we were at the top of the mountain, but 68, yeah. So there's a place to escape if it gets way too hot. But yeah, we're, this week it's been a little unseasonably cool for us. It's, well, maybe 85. But I think next week it's going to hit. We're going to be like hundreds. So I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Just not this week. Hi, Scrapbook Sister. Hello, Debbie. Hi, Wanda. Shannon. Oh, I know. I get it. I see in the chat now. You guys are all saying hello to Lily. Yes, so fun. Diane said it's already 97 in Chandler, Arizona. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Currently, Delaware is 92, but it feels like probably 1,000 degrees because of the humidity, right? Right. Hijin is in Houston, 89, and I'm sure it'll be incredibly humid there as well. Debbie said, good morning from Boise, Idaho, only 96 today. Starting next week, we're in for about 6 days of 105. Yep, Debbie, I think whatever you get is coming right straight to us right after, right? Hello, Sarah Foss. Little humid in West LA, hanging out with our new shelter adoptee, Andy, aka Andy Warhol, the white tornado. Is that a doggy? Is that a dog? Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. Terry's loving it. She's up in the mountains, right? She's up in the mountains today. Hummingbirds, a bull moose right out in front of the cabin. Okay, so you know what you need to do then, Terry? Take a picture and post it in the Facebook group. I've been posting my moose, moose singular and plural, that we've seen too over the last couple of weeks. So yes, post it in the Facebook group so we can all see. Love that. It's 59 degrees here. Yeah. Mindy and Kim are together. I love that, you guys. I love it when you guys are together. So fun. Virginia, Christine not Virginia, Vintage Scrap Girl, Christine, said hello, looking forward to playing today. Yes, looking forward to playing as well. Hi, Christy, nice to see you. Back in Florida after visiting your daughter in Vermont. So happy to be here. It's lovely to have you. I hope you had a good visit. Hi, Justine. Mom too. Mom too, it's her first live. Very excited watching from Delaware. Well, I'm excited for you to have your first live as well. We'll have lots of fun today. Terry, my official timekeeper. There is a hard stop today at 1 o'clock. So if you can help me, you guys will, I have a house full of people that will also help me remember that. But Jack and his girlfriend Kat are in town. They actually leave today. They've been here since last Sunday. And we're going to go to brunch. So we are hard stop at noon Pacific time today. So we'll get as much done as we can. And whatever we don't get done, then we'll move forward to the next time we're together in 2 weeks. Yes, so welcome. I don't know how I got on that tangent, but welcome, Mom, too. Hi, Gabby. Gabby, hi. Nice to see you. Congratulations on your recent wedding. Very exciting. Pictures I saw on Facebook looked wonderful, so congrats to you. Fun to have you here with us today. Linda McSweeney said a great day to stay in the air conditioner and scrap in Delaware. I think Delaware. She said Felloware. I don't know if there's something funny behind that or if it's just a typo. Delaware. Good morning, Pam Soames. Nice to see you. Pam, Central California, we're expected to be 114. It's a great day to list inside with the air conditioning. It certainly is. Pam is enjoying a recent retirement. Well, not recent retirement. Well, her retirement is recent, but she's retired. So very excited about that. Sorry, there's something, a little something in my eye, probably an eyelash. Kim and Mindy are making cards today. It's so fun. So fun. Beach Gal. So Deborah said they're settling in well. She's been working her way through the Life in Color album. Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. You're heading to the farmer's market, a lovely 80 degrees. Yes, you are on the coast of Southern California. I'm sure it is gorgeous. So good for you. Good morning, honey, in the other room. Nick popped in and said good morning. Yes, Sarah, it's a dog. Okay, I love that you just adopted. That's so fun. Hello, Colleen. Nice to see you. Lots of humidity and heat in this time of year, right? But I love it. Well, we don't have humidity here, so I can't say I love that. And the heat, I just love the summer. So I wish it was this way all year round. And some parts of the world there are. I wish we lived in a part of the world where it was this way all year round. Like I could even take like low 80s. Oh, it would be awesome. I would love it. I would love it. Oh, right, Christy, lower 70s in Vermont. Now you're back to humid Florida. Of course, of course. Hello, Louisa. Nice to see you. All right, let's see, friends. Well, and yes, Terry, if you're not going to be around, don't worry. Terry is always just so good about asking me if we have a hard stop. So I instantly thought of Terry. Yes, I will plug in as soon as I flip the camera. You guys are always so good about reminding me of that. Deborah said good morning from Minnesota, upper 70s. They've been getting a lot of rain. And good morning, Patty, also from, well, I don't know. I know Patty's from Minnesota. I was thinking upper Minnesota, but Deborah said upper 70s. Yes, Patty and Deborah, both Minnesota. Okay, friends, let's do this. We've got a lot to get through today. Well, we won't get through. We got a lot of play to do, right? And well, I have a little bit of an agenda. There are some lists that I said we would work on, so we will work on those. And whatever we get done, we get done. But I'm going to, in a second here, rotate the camera and then we'll start playing. Now that we have all those kind of fun hellos out of the way, not out of the way, but got to do that. Welcome. If you are new here, my name is Lael Kankar and I have a business called Lael by Mail. When I'm not traveling, we are here on Saturdays and we are doing what I like to call creative listing. So with that, I, on Thursdays, publish at least 3 list topics. And on Saturdays, we sit down, or well, I stand, some of you sit down, but we get together and I list. So I take those listing topics and I make my lists, but I do it creatively. So I add pattern paper and stamps and washi and die cuts and all different kinds of things. And we play. We play and we laugh and we have fun. Lots of you guys participate in the chat. We make mistakes. When we make mistakes, when I say we, you know who I mean, make mistakes because mistakes happen, right? You accidentally drop your stamping block face down on your project. You accidentally get a big old blob of ink somewhere or, things happen. So we talk about what to do when that happens. And those things aren't planned, right? But they happen to all of us. So we kind of learn. We try new techniques. We try different things. Anyhow, we have a lot of fun and we play. But really what we're doing is we're storytelling, right? We're documenting we're memory keeping, we're scrapbooking, whatever you want to call it, we're journaling, but we're telling, in most cases, our own story, which I think is so, so important. I'm very passionate about that. The lists that we've been making for the last 4+ years, for me, have turned into this incredible like time capsule. There are lists that I've made about myself that really give my family and friends and you guys, whoever, a real true insight into me, because a lot of times there are things that I am listing about that people would never know, right? My kids, Nick, my mom, family, friends, whatever, they would never know. So it's kind of a nice little time capsule that we are recording, we're making. We're telling our own story, which I think is super important. As I'm working, there are a lot of different products that I will be using. You will see those, for the most part, linked in the description box of the video down below. So that will take you to a page on my website at laelbymail.com. What I'm using page. So it will show you, it'll have links and all the products to most of the products that I use, and you can find those on my website. What I need to mention right now through the month of July, so we're in July 2024. Today's July 6th, 2024. This month there is my annual Christmas in July sale that's going on, where all of last year's Christmas products are marked down 40 to probably 80% off. A good portion of them have sold, but there's still plenty on there and some really good deals to be had. So what I also do, combined with that Christmas in July sale every year, is that's my chance to give kind of a little Christmas present back to you. And that is a $5 off coupon for a purchase of $25 or more. That coupon code you'll see on the website, it's Xmas. It's 5Xmas, 5XMAS 24. But right when you go to the homepage, there's a big banner there and you'll see it. So if you're shopping, please make sure you use that coupon code, because that's like free money. That's free money. All right, and that runs through the end of this month, July 2024. Well, really, it's every July, so just plan on that. All right, with that said, let's do this. I'm gonna turn off the overhead lights, flip the camera, turn on the studio lights, and we'll get playing, okay? We will get to playing. Back here, rotate that camera, and turn on the lights. Turn on the lights. How is everyone today? Besides being quite warm, right? Besides being quite warm, wherever you are, most of you are, is quite warm. But how are you? How was 4th of July? Did you celebrate 4th of July? Did you do something fun? What did you do? What are you doing this weekend? Are you listing with me? Are you hanging out? Are you working? Are you playing? Are you working on another crafty project? Am I in the background while you're cleaning the toilets? I don't know. It's funny. You guys tell me all kinds of things. One of the funniest things I think that someone shared, she said, she was in the chat and she said she'd been, excuse me, sorry about that. She'd been cleaning the bedroom, or I don't know what was going on. She was doing something in the bedroom, and her phone fell underneath the bed. And right around that time, her husband came in and said, "What's Lael doing under the bed?" Which I just thought was so funny, so funny. So you tell me that some of your families know me. It seems like they know me, right? Because this is just, they just know. You tell me on Saturdays, you tell your family, guess what? I'm busy. Go away, I'm busy. All righty. Hello, Dandy Creates. I'm so glad you made it. Oregon, right? You're in Oregon. You're traveling, yes? You are traveling, I believe. And I think Dandy had just posted in the Facebook group. That's how I know. All right, friends. So I think we're ready to roll. I'm just kind of checking out the chat. Kristen is prepping for a 4th party this afternoon. Oh, good. So it's kind of when 4th of July falls, this close to the weekend. In a lot of cases, it's a celebration that kind of continues over the weekend, isn't it? Alrighty, so let's take a look at our list that we did last time we were together, which was 2 weeks ago. Oh, Dandy, you're planning to. You haven't left yet. Okay. Hello, Patricia Harvey. Hello, hello. Thank you, Colleen. Yes, we are good. I plugged in, so we are all good. All right, so last week we did 3, 4. I think we did 4. Well, we'll just look. We'll just look and see what we did. We did 4 lists. We started out with this one, things I learned this month. we used the All the Things stamp set when we did that particular list. And that stamp set, I'd say we probably use, I don't know, maybe 10 or so times a year. It's one that we use the beginning of the year, things I'm looking forward to this year. We use the beginning of each season, things I'm looking forward to this spring, summer, winter, fall. Sometimes we do things I'm looking forward to this Christmas, but also things I learned this month, or things I learned last month, or things I learned this year, last year, whatever it is. It's a kind of a great buildable stamp set where you can, decide whatever you want to make work with the stamps that are there. I guess that is the case with all stamp sets. Colleen, thank you. Yes, hard stop is mountain time. So 1 o'clock mountain, 12 Pacific. I am mountain time, but I usually say everything in Pacific time because mountain time is one of those time zones people are like, what is that? Anyhow, so for this list, we did a little stamping. We did some die cutting. So we used one of the mini clips and then the mini clip die. So we created a little kind of clipped title there for our list. And then we used the gorgeous Simple Vintage Linen Market collection from Simple Stories to do that. So things I learned this month. That is a really fun list to do. You could do it on a monthly basis. You could do it on a yearly basis. And I think, is it Sarah? I'm just going to say this because I remember this. Lily's mom. Lily's mom. How about that? Lily's mom. This would be a great list to do with Lily, maybe every year. If you do that this year, you may need to help Lily a little bit, prompt her a little bit. So what did you learn? There are lots of things in school, lots of things about friends, maybe things about herself. She learned that she likes broccoli, but doesn't like Brussels sprouts. But I think especially when people are younger, a list like this is a really fun list to do and then kind of look back on. And really for all of us, right? Things I learned. A really great list to kind of do on a semi-frequent basis and look back on. But when people are younger, that's where you usually see a lot of the learning happening, right? Yeah, so I think that would be really fun. All right, after that, or I don't remember, we may have started with this one. This is my happy place list. So a couple of months ago, we did not in this insert, a couple months ago, we did a list about happy places. And for me, that list was related to travel. Some of the different places that I like to go that are my happy places when I'm traveling. And so one of those was I really like it when we head out in Harvey, our RV. And so that was on my list. And so for this happy place, I decided to dive into one of those things on my prior happy place list, which was basically being, Harvey. And so I talked about in this list, Harvey, our little RV being one of my happy places, but what were the specific things that I liked about Harvey, our RV. So there we go. Did a little film strip type photo there. That I did using the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. And there is a video here on my YouTube channel about how to use the Epson Creative Print app that I use to do a film strip like that. Super easy if you have that printer. But anyhow, so that was using some products from Vicky Booten's Nature Mixed Media kind of die cut pack, if you will. So there we go. A little bit of washi. Then we did in the news. Hi, Julie Martin. Nice to see you. We did in the news for the month of May. And this is a list that we do on a monthly basis where I'm listing about some of the news things that happened in our country and in the world that kind of hit my radar. This one was way out of my comfort zone. Way out of my comfort zone. I used some purple ink, which purple is generally not my thing, but it worked out really well with the paper that I used, which was from Vicky's Mixed Media 12 by 12 paper pad. And then kind of what led kind of to using that paper and the purple was that photo that I took when we saw the Northern Lights. So that was one of the things on my list that was in the news in May, right? Even though it was in my personal news, but that was a big deal in kind of in North America, that the Northern Lights were much lower than, you could see them much lower than usual due to the solar storm. Anyhow, so in the news. And then this one we had a lot of fun with, right? Shows I wish would come back. So TV shows that I wish would come back. And so, I mean, you know what? There was a lot about Vicky. 3 of our 4 lists last week were using Vicky's products, which is so fun. I say that because this one is from her products from her artist mixed media kind of embellishment pack. All right, so those were our 4 lists from last week, or actually 2 weeks ago, last time we were listing together. You can always go back and watch if you missed any of the lists. They're just always here on YouTube. So 4 years worth of lists here on YouTube. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to start out with our first list for today, and that is about last month. So about last month is a list that we do every first Saturday of a new month. And I should say actually first Saturday that we are together, right? So sometimes we're maybe 2 weeks in instead of 1 week in, depending on my travel schedule and what we're doing. But about last month is a list, like I said, that I start at the beginning of every month. Let me grab let's see, is this it? Is that it? This one is not it. However, I should have one in here. Maybe it's this one. Is it this one? Yes, it's in here. All right. So, all right, here is about last month for the month of May. But the whole concept behind about last month, or it's kind of like a month in review. Basically, I pick photos and I make a list. And I use, this year, because we're in 2024, I use the 2024 About Last Month stamp set. So every year I come out with a new stamp set in order for me to kind of mix things up, right? You can mix things up as well as you if you'd like, but I do a new stamp set every year. And for that full year, I'm using that stamp set to do About Last Month. I started doing these in August of 2020. So I have 4 years worth, you guys, of these lists that basically I can go back to May 3 years ago and I know exactly what was happening. Oh, actually, May 4 years ago would be a lot worse to go back to, right? That's a time that I don't think none of us want to go back to, right? That would be May of 2020. Anyhow, but I can see everything that was kind of happening in my world. And there's no pressure for me because I'm not worried about really how to design it every time, because it always, basically for the last 4 years, has had the same general design to it, where I'm having photos over here in one format or another, and I'm just doing a bulleted list. When I say bulleted list, I'm not trying to be Ernest Hemingway. I'm not trying to journal, this amazing prose about, what happened. I'm basically just saying, about last month, fourth annual International Scrapbook Day, all-day listing celebration. I did a stamp release that month. We got a new pantry door. So it's just very, very, just the facts, right? Just matter of fact, and there you go. When I did it for May, I did a little pocket and actually did little photo strips again, because there was a lot that had kind of happened in May. And so I just had all of those little photo strips and tucked them in the pocket. But that's the idea behind About Last Month. A question came up from somebody new in the Facebook earlier this week, and I thought I would just maybe answer that one. She said, I'm new and I really like this idea of the About Last Month. Do most people just kind of include it in their regular traveler's notebook insert, and it's just kind of a running list? So that's what I do, right? They're just like today, About Last Month for June is going to just fall right in with all the lists that I have been making. I said that's what I do, and some people do that, but there are other people that use a specific insert for that, right? Other people use a specific insert for that, and that would be right here. It should be right here. How about this one? Is that it? Oh, it is, yes. So every year I also do a year in review project kit. That project kit always includes the stamp for the year, plus everything else that we need to put our traveler's notebook for your kind of month in reviews together for the entire year. So I think people that are purchasing that kit are doing this, that basically you have your full, year in that same insert. So this was the sample from class. That's why everything's blank, because this was in December. Anyhow, those kits are still available, but I just thought I'd answer that question because I think it's both. But I do them just as I continue along. It's just mixed in with the rest of my list. All right, so we will get to this super fun product that is on my desktop here. Don't worry. Do not worry. That's the Groovy Darlin' collection. So we'll get to that in our next list. But since June was kind of the first month of summer, I thought for this list I would use summer snapshots from Simple Stories. All right. So what I started out with my photo. And with this particular photo, this is a 5x7. If you look at it this side, it's really easy to see. It's one single photo, right? Or it was one single piece of photo paper that started out. I used the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer, which is the printer I use for 98.9% of everything that I print. I have a larger printer that I use if I want to print like a full 6x8 for a mini book or something like that. But this is the printer that I use for pretty much everything that you guys see me do. I pair that with the Epson Creative Print app. It is an app that's free, both Android and Apple. But I believe it's the app that really makes that printer super powerful. With that printer, you can print 3.5x5s, 4x6s, 5x7s. As I mentioned before, here on my YouTube channel, I have a dress on. I didn't mention that before. I have a dress on because we're going to brunch right after. And it's super, well, it's really, anyhow. So you kind of keep seeing part of that dress right there. That's going to bother me. We don't want to look at that. Anyhow, because I'm leaning against the counter. I'm not 9 months pregnant, I promise, although sometimes I feel like I am. Anyhow, that app, in my opinion, is the power behind the printer. Because with that app, it has pre-configured templates. This is one of many pre-configured templates. Normally, you'd probably put another photo there, but I don't, and I'll explain why. Anyhow, you pull up the app, you give it access to your camera roll, you pick a template, and then you just push your photos in from your camera roll that you want to be a part of that. So sometimes I use a full sheet like this. Sometimes I will print this and then cut the pieces apart. Like if I cut that right there, that's how I get a fun little like photo booth strip, right? Anyhow, so over the month when I sit down to do this list, I look through all of my photos from the month. I look through my calendar, and usually it's those two things that are helping me remember what is going to be on my list for the month. All right, so that's what I have there. There's some photos from the month. What I need to do, this is a 5x7 photo. This is a standard wide traveler's notebook insert. It is 5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. So you'd think, oh, that's a 5x7. This is 5 by 8.25. That photo should just fit right in there. It does, but it's a little bit too wide because we lose a couple millimeters for the stapling of that insert. So I need to trim it down a little bit. And if you are new here, you will pretty much hear me explain all of those things, because if I just all of a sudden pulled out a trimmer and I'm just, trimming and really not talking or explaining about what I'm doing, then you might be a little bit confused. So I do a lot of explaining as I am working. So I I think out loud. And I just need to talk to you guys and tell you what I'm doing. So there aren't any questions, because I don't want anybody to feel lost about what I'm doing, even if I do that every time I use this list. And some of you are like, Lael, enough already. You've told us that 100 times. Well, poor Lily is brand new, and she might be wondering why I am not poor Lily. Cute little sweet Lily, the 7-year-old, might be wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing. So you never know when people are new, so I'm going to explain. So Terry just made a comment I want to talk about for a sec. Terry said that's what I do, and what she was referring to was she puts all of her About Last Month's spreads in the same traveler's notebook insert versus what I do, just working it in. She took that class. She has the kit, but she says she's way behind. Now, here's the thing. This is the easiest project to to get behind in. And that's going to sound really weird. I don't mean it's easy to get behind. I mean, if you're going to get behind in a project, this is a great one to get behind in, because as long as you're taking the pictures, and as long as you have your calendar, it should be pretty easy to sit down. Maybe Terry next week is going to sit down and do February. As long as she has the photos that she's taken, the photos will jog her memory of the things that kind of she did back in February. So it's a really easy one to, I will say, catch up on. I don't want to say get behind on, but you know what I mean when I say that. Let's see. Terry said, we may need to squirrel about the bracelet you're wearing. Okay, really quick. This I bought at a little boutique in Houston. When my friend Amy and I went to Houston last year in March, and we went to the rodeo. Well, it was a working trip. We worked, and then we also went to the rodeo 2 nights. Anyhow, but I saw that. I thought it was just so fun. Yeah, so thank you. It's beaded, but it's just super fun. It's kind of like country-ish, kind of Aztec-y style, but I loved the pastel colors, because you don't often, at least for me, see like kind of fun pastels in that type of style. But thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. Okay. Terry. Okay, Terry. Now I'm just gonna, Terry's bringing up some good things today. So I wanna respond to one more thing that I just saw her say. She said, I am so bummed I forgot to pack a large enough stamping block to use my stamps. Terry, do you have perhaps a glass bowl at the cabin? Or maybe a glass jar? Because what you can do in a pinch, and I've done this, so Terry wants to stamp, but she doesn't have a large enough stamping block. Go look in the kitchen, Terry. See something that you might be able to, we'll pretend, okay? So, I mean, something like this could work, but you can't really see through it, so you don't know where you're placing. But let's pretend like this was a glass jar or a glass bowl. Terry could grab out her stamp, like this guy, and put it there on the bottom and ink that up. And now you have a stamping block for your stamp. All right. So I would not suggest something that's solid, because the nice part about acrylic is you can see where you're stamping. But that in a pinch would totally work. I just realized I forgot something. I forgot to get this ready for us. So I'm going to grab Nick really quick and ask him to do this for me. Nick, come here. I think the young adults may still be sleeping, so I'm trying to be quiet. Oh, here he comes. Will you please wet that for me? Thank you. Okay. All right. Anyhow, but Terry, give it a shot. All right, give it a shot. A glass, a bowl, something like that that is clear, so you can at least see through it. All right. Okay. Flat bottom drinking glass. Exactly, Dandy. Yep, flat bottom drinking glass. As long as you can see through it. I mean, if you can't see through it, you might give it a shot, but yeah. All right, so here we go. Here's my photo. Oh, what did I get on there? Something came out of my little garbage can when I turned it over. I got all kinds of little crumbs here. All right, so I am going to adhere my photo. Let's bring that in. Adhere my photo to the the right side.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, honey. Nice to see you showered. Where's Reggie?
I'm just following your lead. First time in a week, I said I'd get the shower since you did.
First time in a week. Wow.
Well, because you did. Your first time.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I showered yesterday afternoon, but whatever. That's almost 30 years of marriage for you, friends. All right. So my photo is adhered. So I always start with the photo, and then from the photo, I pick some embellishments that I kind of want to work with the month, and then also work with the photo. So like I had said, I pulled out summer snapshots, and we'll see here what we want to work with. Oh, I think this might be fun. This, so from the journal bits, I see summer, and then I just saw, when I look at the back, it says hello summer, or summer days. So let's grab that, let's see what we can kind of come up with there. what we might want to use here. Now there's rub-ons too, which the rub-ons could be super fun. But let's just see what we want to work with. I liked that hello. Where did we go? Ooh, I have an idea for that one maybe. Oh, there's summer days. And then we also had hello summer. So summer fun could be work. It could be work. Could be fun in a little bit of a different way. I like those little guys. Those little camera strips maybe. I'm still looking for hello. Where's hello? Hello, hello. Ooh, that's cute. Summer fun. Summer of fun. Now, where would hello be? Would I have used it before? I guess maybe I used it before. If I've already used it, then I think we're going with summer days. Yeah. I must have used it or not put it away where it belonged, right? I must not have put it away where it belonged. Well, whatever I did, we'll make it work. We'll make work with what I have pulled out. Just tuck those back in there real quick. We could look there. We might want a few more. Oh, that's fun. That could be fun. I've just got a whole bunch of other little, that might be fun there, even though, here's the deal. I was nowhere near the beach, unfortunately, in the month of June. But it doesn't matter, right? I could still use that. That would still be really fun to use. I don't know. I kind of like that. I know it's really super crowded. Well, and actually it's odd that I have maybe 2 umbrellas there, but it might work. So on my photos, when I'm adding the photo there, I always like to leave some blank space. Basically, I don't put 2 photos either there, or sometimes I don't put 3 photos. So I kind of have a little bit of room to work with when it comes to adding, some embellishments. So, if you just want to do all photos, you could do all photos. Alrighty, I think we're at a good start here. The summer days. So summer days could maybe just come in over here a little bit. Summer days, that might be fun, just to kind of in the middle of my little list. Now, I liked this. I liked, what I really liked about this is too long really for me to put anywhere. Too long, too tall. But I like that kind of view of the little sun. So what would happen if, well, I already adhered that. So if I just maybe cut a little part of that off, I could have a little bit of a sun there, right? But with my sun, if this stays here, I don't think I would put this guy right on this side. I might move him over because I have that kind of same shape already here. I don't know, we'll see. But I mean, maybe we don't use that because I already have kind of that same shape elsewhere. Lift that up a little bit. So maybe we just have a little bit of sun. And then what we were looking at these guys, kind of the same thing with this guy. Summer fun. I have who, where, when, but I don't really want to put that anywhere, but it could, maybe, I could do something like, well, I might as well not waste that. I could use who, where, when somewhere else. And then summer fun, I could just work with. Oh, yeah, well, that's not really going to work, is it? Unless I do, oh, hey, how about that? There we go. But I don't know if I need that. Summer fun could just go there. Do we like that there? So really, this is kind of what a lot of what we do on a Saturday when we're together. Sure, let's do it. I am trying things. In a lot of cases, in this case, I knew I wanted to use summer snapshots, but I did not know ahead of time what particular products I wanted to use in summer snapshots. So I just kind of pull them out and then they start speaking to me, right? And I try things, I knew that wouldn't work whole, but I also knew if I, kind of trimmed it, I could tuck it underneath. And then that just so happens in that photo, I'll put those little, that little piece on top of the poppy field that we went to. Oh, it is toasty in here. Hang on. Turn on the fan. Turn on the fan. All right. Hold that down for a sec. Terry, you'll have to let us know if you found a bowl or a glass that would work for you. Dandy, so Dandy, remind me where you are. Oh, Calgary. Sorry, guys, I have like a little frog in my throat today. Let me take a quick sip. Water restrictions in Calgary. Yikes. Well, I'm glad that they've figured out how to make that work. It sounds like with the Calgary Stampede, that would be a little awkward, wouldn't it? Without water there. I like this. Like I said, even though, I mean, I don't live near a beach. I really wish I did, and so I have to fake it. I have to use beach things wherever I can, right? I'll use the beach things wherever I can. I better move that. That's needs to probably be over there a little bit. And then make sure I don't cover anyone up. I don't want to cover myself or Nick up or my nephew. One of my nephews, can't cover him up. All right. Beach. That's just, I wish I was at the beach. So there we go. Wishing I was at the beach. Now, usually what I do is I usually end up also with some washi. Oh, yep, for sure. For sure, we're using this washi. This is from one of the washies in the pack of washi in Summer Snapshots. But look at, this is like, if this, I don't know, if this doesn't say summer, I do not know what does. I do not know what does. All right, now this I will come back in and lift this up just a tad. This little die cut that I am already adhered down, I'm going to lift that up just a little bit and slide my little washi right under there. And now the little stem, not the stem. And a beach umbrella does not have a stem. It has a what is that? Not a stem. It is a pole? I don't know. What's the bottom of the beach umbrella called? Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, if I lived near the beach, I would know that. All right, so I think we're kind of good here. I'm going to go ahead and add my little summer days in the center, and my list will just kind of be around that. When I do about last month, unless I do a little pocket like I did for the month of May, unless I do a little pocket, let's just see where we want that. That works. Unless I do a little pocket, I'm really not using any pattern paper because it's really the photo that is, you know, kind of taking a lot of the space. And really, that's what it's all about with this list for me. It's about the photos, right? Because that's part of what, how did I just have that? I think I had it like that. Summer days. All right, and then just little embellishments. So in this case, die cuts. I think all of those die cuts, almost all of them, I used from the Summer Snapshots journal bits. And then that washi. And then, of course, you know this has to happen. My little outlining. My little outlining. It's funny. I over the years, I mean, I've been in this hobby, in this field for many years, both as a like hobbyist and as I've worked for a number of different manufacturers over the years, and then now my own business with Lay All by Mail. But way back in the day when there were scrapbook magazines, I would, you know, do projects for different magazines, and there was an idea book that someone in South Africa did, and I had, you know, maybe 6 or 7 layouts in that idea book. I'll have to see if I can find that. But it was, I mean, it was years ago. I bet it was 18 years ago. And when I even look back at that, all of my layouts in that all outlined. It's just something, I don't know, it's something I've done forever. All right, so now what we're going to do, now we're going to do our stamping. So there's a couple things that we need to be aware of when we are stamping in a traveler's notebook. Number one, I am going to be stamping directly on the insert, right? I'm going to be stamping directly on my insert, which means I don't have the benefit of having my hard surface on my countertop, right, to work with. So I need to give myself a hard surface, a hard flat surface, really. I mean, this would be a hard surface, not necessarily flat, because I've added all kinds of things underneath here. This is a prime example. If I were to stamp directly here without putting something underneath here to give me a flat surface to stamp on, my stamped impression is probably not going to look very nice because of all the little bumps from all of those individual little letter stickers. So what I need is to set myself up for success. I need to grab a pencil board. Now, a pencil board is a fancy name for something flat that you slide underneath something, so you have a hard surface then to, some people use it for writing, but generally for me, I just do it for stamping. So this is an example of a pencil board. You can absolutely make your own. There's one of you guys, Nancy Golison, made this for me years ago. It is just a piece of chipboard. It's a piece of chipboard that is covered with pattern paper. So that is a flat surface that I can now slide under and stamp on. Not too long after that, I came out with my own pencil board. So that is a clear piece of 1/8 inch acrylic, rounded corners, so that when you slide that underneath there, you're not accidentally poking a hole in your insert, in your pages. But this one also has grid. There's a grid that is etched, I guess, into it. So you could also use this as a stamping block. So Terry, right? Oh, Terry said she couldn't find anything. She went back to the one block, packed, and it barely fit. You made it work, right? Good. Now, Terry, if she was traveling, any of us, right? You could take something like this. It could do double duty. It could do double duty for your pencil board, but could also be stamping block, right? You could also use this as a stamping block. That's why the grid is there. All right, so I'll use my pencil board. I always want to slide that underneath, again, to give myself a nice hard surface to stamp on. All right, now we're going to need a couple of different stamping blocks here. I'm going to pull out a couple of different stamping blocks. Just so, I'm not sure what I need yet, but I'll just pull all those out. And we'll get that out of the way. Now, when it comes to this stamp, there are a couple of different ways that I can, well, the stamp set, it's actually, let me pull this guy out again, because I think this will be the easiest way to show a whole bunch of different ways that you could use that stamp set. The stamp set, I designed it around this kind of block. All right, so that block stamp, and then from there, you have the handwritten days of the month that can fit into that area. You have handwritten numbers, so this would be January 01 and 24. And then there is a solid block, right? There's this little solid block stamp. Ooh, got these guys, hang on. Let me just get these guys back situated. You have the solid block stamp, which I also need, that can go behind that little box, right? To add a little bit more color. So that guy, that's what I did. Stamped solid color, stamped black around it, did the months. This guy, same thing, stamped solid color, stamped solid color, and then a darker pink around it, and then red. And instead of putting a 2 there, I put one of the little icons. Just lots of different ways that you could kind of mix and match that stamp set. Here's one where I didn't use the block at all. I just did about last month, and then a little definition. So lots of different ways to use that particular stamp set to kind of change things up. 4th of July, this was just a blank. I didn't do anything solid behind that. Anyhow, so lots of different ways that you could use that. So now we need to decide how we're going to use it. I think what I will do, since I have this black here, I think I will stamp my that outline. I will do that in black. And what I need to do, I can tell this stamp, let me set it right here. This stamp was having a little bit of a hard time sticking when I had pulled it up before and put it on the bottom of my little garbage can. That's because, especially this will happen with your larger surface area stamps, that's the back side of it. If they have a trouble sticking to your stamping block or to the sheet, generally that's because you have lint or dust or dirt or something on the back of that stamp. So you just need to clean it. And this is a damp, it's my stamp chamois. So it's just like a damp towel. I clean that off and then it will stick to my stamping block again, no problem. So let's do that. That's not straight. I need to just get that a little bit closer to me so I can see. Generally, when I am picking up my stamps to put on the stamping block, this is how I do it. I will put it face down, stamp side down on my work surface, and then use the stamping block to pick it up, because then I have a much greater chance of getting that stamp, whatever stamp it is, straight than I think if I try to pick it up with my fingers and put it up. So there's one. Let's see, what do I do here? Color-wise. I pulled out my swatches. So these are swatches of all of my Distress Oxide colors. So it's really easy now for me to look at what color I might want to use with those. Now I already said I wanted to outline it in black because that will kind of reiterate this whole look. But I don't think I want to add kind of the yellow behind it, just because then the black and yellow I think might just be a little bit harsh. I'd really like to pull in maybe some of these brighter colors. So if we look down here, we've got some really fun bright colors that we could use. This guy, I think that's maybe would be similar to Cracked Pistachio, maybe a little light, but that could be fun. That could be fun up there. The orange, I don't want to do an orange, I know, because if I do the black outline, I think that'll look a little bit too much like Halloween. But I also have that color, and that I'm going to say peach. Isn't that, what am I thinking? Peach. No, saltwater taffy, that's what I was thinking. Saltwater taffy. So it's going to be one of the two, saltwater taffy or Cracked Pistachio. So let me grab both of those inks out. Do I already have Cracked Pistachio? No. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, Cracked Pistachio and saltwater taffy. So now what I will do, I am going to test this out. So I always, let's get this out of the way again. I always will test stamp on something before I stamp on my project. The reason I do that, I would much rather find out that I don't like maybe a particular color combination in a little test as opposed to in my project, right? The other thing is always a good idea to test first, even if you know you like the color combination, because you may have a little hair on your stamp. You might have something spelled incorrectly if you are spelling a word. Always just a good idea to test stamp first. So that's what I always do. In this stamp set, when I am building, when I mean building, I'm doing a solid and then I'm going to do the outline on top. I prefer to do the solid first, then the outline on top. I prefer to do that because if I do whatever I put on top is going to muddy up a little bit. Not muddy, it's not going to change the color, but it is going to affect what is stamped below it. All right, so if I'm going to use black, I know I want black to, I know I don't want my black to be kind of chalked over by putting this color on top of it, if that makes sense. All right, so there we go. That is saltwater taffy. Look it, I think that would be so fun with that. I think it'd be super fun. So we think we like saltwater taffy. We'll also test Cracked Pistachio because options are always good, right? We don't know sometimes until we try it. So now I have my black. I always have baby wipes at the ready. So if you are stamping, good idea to have baby wipes or maybe a wet paper towel. Because I just got a little bit of black ink there on my fingertips. And I want to be aware of that because as I'm working over here, well, I'm not working there, but as I am eventually working with my project, I don't want to transfer black fingerprints, right, to my project. So wet paper towel or baby wipes, whatever you have handy or whatever's easy. If you are stamping and you have those at the ready, I think it's super helpful. All right, so now I'm going to pull this a little bit closer to me so I kind of have a better bird's eye view. All right, so there we go. That is what we're looking like. That's first option. And then let's see if we like cracked pistachio better. Really important, you want to clean that color off, especially if you're working with a distress oxide. Distress oxides are pigment-based ink. They will blend. And it's nice if you want them to blend, but if you don't want them to blend, I'm going to totally make some really muddy color by putting cracked pistachio on top of saltwater taffy if I didn't clean that off. So I use my little stamp chamois to clean that off. And then I'm drying that. I'm drying that with a microfiber towel. Microfiber towel means it's not going to have any lint, leave any little lint or any pieces on my stamp. Super important that you dry between colors. Distress oxides are water reactive, so that ink will react to water. And if you want it to do that, it can do some really cool things. But if you don't want it to do that, having any kind of moisture at all on your stamp, if it's not completely dry, will affect that stamped image. And if that's not something that you're looking for, then you just want to make sure that you completely dry in between. Completely dry in between. All right, so that guy's all inked up. We're trying cracked pistachio next to see which of the two that we like. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. Let's get that little guy cleaned off again, just so that ink doesn't dry on there in between. All right, so now we'll re-ink this and see what we like better. All right, so let's see, here we go. You know what, I think I like that I cracked pistachio. I think cracked pistachio it is. That's what I like, that's what I'm doing. So let's get saltwater taffy out of the way. We're back to cracked pistachio. I find it a lot easier to apply the ink to the stamp as opposed to the stamp to the ink, especially when it's a stamp that's a little bit larger. If you're trying to apply the stamp to the ink, I tend to get a lot of ink on my on my stamping block, like I did there when I did that. So let's just get that off. All right, and now I need to re-ink again because I actually wiped off a little bit of that. Better just do this. Make sure. Okay. Ooh. Aha. You may not be able to see, but there's a little circle right there where the ink did not apply. That little circle is there because there's some there's a little speck of dust or something right there. No, that's not a big deal. And you might be like, what the heck is she even talking about? But I noticed it and that would drive me crazy. So I'm going to just fix it. I'm going to fix it. Shannon, you like cracked pistachio better? Yeah, I don't know. That's just fun. That's just fun color to me. So that's what we're doing. That is the closest to mint that we get with Tim Holtz and Distressed Colors. Cracked pistachio is the closest, actually, is the closest we get. All right, now I need to do this pretty quick because I'm going to have to re-ink that. I should have been ready. I should have been ready with my stamping block underneath, like that. I'm going to ink that up just a little bit more because, oop, my head just ran into the camera. I don't want to have that dry on me. So we'll ink that up a little bit more. I put my pencil board underneath there so I have my nice flat surface now to stamp on. And we'll put that, I think maybe right there. So I'm gonna, nice even pressure, solid pressure, right? Solid pressure. Terry said, I really wish a company would understand that summer does not mean beach theme to all of us. I need a summer in the mountains that is not all about camping. Yes. Yeah, and you know what? Simple Stories does a really good job about, with their summer collections, making sure that it's not always beach, that there's a lot of other parts to this collection, Summer Snapshots, besides beach. It's just, for me, that's what I pulled out. That is what I pulled out, okay? All right. But I get what you're saying. Totally get what you're saying. Not camping, but mountains, right? Yeah. All right, so let's do this little piece now. Ink that up nice and evenly. And I still have my pencil board under there, right? I still need that flat surface to stamp on. Ooh. Still need that flat surface to stamp on. I'm going to pull that a little bit closer to myself. I stand when I stamp. I recommend that. Well, I stand when I do everything. When I craft, I'm always standing. So I really recommend that you stand while you are stamping. You get much better leverage. If you're sitting, you have these little T-Rex arms. You don't have a lot of range of motion with your arms when you're sitting. When you stand, you have much more range of motion, which means you're going to get, in my opinion, a much better stamped impression if you are standing. So if you can stand, stand. When you're not, you don't have to do it when you're crafting. That's just what I do. But for sure when you're stamping, I think you'll find that between the testing that we've done before, and then standing, those two things can make a huge difference when you are stamping. All right, so let's get these two little guys put away. And I think I am going to, where's the top of that? Where's the top of that stamp? The plastic sheet. Where did the plastic sheet go? Oh, here it is. I need the plastic sheet because I have a couple of stamps about last month I think I'm going to use. And then I have, if I do 0620, let's see how I want to do this. So about last month could go right there. I'm going to do about last month right there. Let's start with that. I've pulled out another little stamping block. So I'll put that down and pick it up. The nice thing about doing my testing over here is now I can just continue with that. I can just continue and put my stamps where they go in that little block. I might decide, oh, you know what I don't like about last month there. I might want to do maybe June in there. Or maybe I want to do something different, but I think that's going to go there. I'm happy with that. But doing your little testing, you can kind of build just like you would be building over here to see if you like. To see if you likey. All right, about last month will go right here. There we go. And then I think we will do, oh, I didn't mean to clean it off with that. I have that little baby wipe just over there. I don't want to do that. Nothing wrong with using a baby wipe to clean your stamps. Some people feel that alcohol, I don't know. I'm not the expert, but some people say that alcohol is not good for your stamps. So if you have a baby wipe that has alcohol in it, like rubbing alcohol, you don't want to use that. Some baby wipes, what did I just do with the O? I had the O here, the 0. Some baby wipes have, oh my gosh. Oh, I put it back. Jeez Louise, Lael. 06. We'll do that. We'll do 0624. Sorry, some baby wipes have a lot of lint in them. This particular baby wipe that I have, and it's hard to know. You don't necessarily know unless you have a baby, whether or not baby wipes have lint in them. But I think those do. I learned that the hard way. if I was using baby wipes to clean my stamps and they have a lot of lint or little like hairs in them, they leave those little lint or hairs on your stamp. And then you go to apply your ink and then, you get little lint. You don't end up with lint in your stamp. You end up with spaces in your stamp where the lint was in the way of the ink adhering to it. You know what I mean? Oh, and you know what I didn't do? I didn't test that. That's all right. I didn't test my 06 for June, right? Dandy. So Dandy's getting ready to leave on a trip. And she's going to be doing some crafting while she is on that trip. And she said, every time Lael mentions a tool, it goes in my travel bag. You're like, oh, I'll need that. Oh, I'll need that. All right, now I'm going to grab the 2 and the 4. I am using my little stamping stylus, a little teeny, well, long, skinny stamping block for those little tiny stamps. It makes it much easier to control. Even if I was using a small little guy like that, that's a pretty big stamping block for such a small little stamp. So if you can try to right size your stamping blocks to the stamps that you are using, the stamps that you're using, another thing that kind of helps you be a little bit more successful, I find, when you're stamping, as opposed to, if you have one stamping block, it has to be lowest common denominator, so it has to be your largest stamping block. And if I'm trying to use that with that little guy, it's a lot harder to control. It's a lot harder to know if I'm applying the right pressure, if I'm not leaning one way or the other. And if I'm leaning one way or the other when I'm stamping, it's going to really flatten out the part of the stamp that I'm leaning towards. So you might get thin in one area and then really squishy in another area. All right, I'm just cleaning each of these as I go. Marilee said she loves it when I use the T-Rex reference. I'm a visual person. And when I say that, I bet a bunch of you do this. I bet when I say T-Rex and I do this, a bunch of you are like, ooh, right? Trying to see if that's really true. I think it is. All right, 0624 about last month. So I think that's a good start. I think that is a good start. Now, I'm ready to start my list, or writing my list. So what I do throughout the month, I usually have like a running list going on my phone. And it is on a little list that's called About Last Month. And it probably is the same note on my phone that I've been using for 3 years. So it's just a new month every month. It says June, and then I just list throughout the month as things happen, what kind of I've been doing. I think that will help you to kind of remember all the things. Now, you may not be taking photos of every little thing, right? So things maybe that aren't in your camera roll but still happen, you can add them to your list if you've been kind of keeping track. Then right before, as I'm preparing for our listing session, then this is what I do. And it's always a mess, right? This book is always a mess. This one goes back to October of 2021. So almost 3 years. This is all of our listing, all of my planning. And so there's the end. It's time for me to do another book. Anyhow, so when I am getting ready, this is what I do to help us get ready. I know what lists we're doing, I know what product I'm doing, and then I have my little list there. A lot of times I'm making sketches, but in this case, usually with About Last Month, I never make a sketch because it's pretty much kind of the same thing every month, right? Same general design every month. All right, now what I've done is I grabbed I want to just look at something here. I grabbed the mini icon summer stamps. I grabbed these because I thought I might use these as my little bullets. And I think I'm going to do that, but I think I just might do one. And if I did one, I'm thinking just maybe that little sun and cloud might be kind of fun. So if I do that, what I could do, this is a little bit bigger, the mini icons. Some of them will fit on the stamping stylus. Most of them are too big to fit on the stamping stylus. So then that's why I'm grabbing one of the my little cylinder stamping blocks. So I will use that in between each of my things on my bulleted list. I think what I might do, What if we use, what if I use the yellow, a yellow? I'm thinking scattered mustard seed, fossilized amber. Where's fossilized amber? Fossilized amber. I'm gonna use that one. And I think I will, where are you, fossilized amber? Did I get it out already? Oh, I know where it is. Working on a class over here. And so, let me grab that. Oh, ouch. That from over there. All right, there we go. Fossilized amber. So what if we do this little guy, and I'm just going to do him here. In between, I think that'll work. Let's do it. Let's do it. I am leaving my pencil board in place right now, just because over this top little area, I think I'm going to need it. All right, so now the things on my list. Basically, it's a run-on, right? It's just a run-on, and I list something, and then I'll put that little bullet stamp in between. So, very beginning of June, I filmed a segment on Studio 5 TV about travel with a traveler's notebook. That was sure fun. If you missed that, it's on my website. If you go to blog, and it happened the beginning of June. So June 2024. If you want to watch that little segment, it was lots of fun. Lots of fun. It's about 7 minutes. 7 minutes flies. 7 minutes flies when you're on TV. Karen says it keeps freezing on her. Is anyone else? Are you? Does the video freezing on you? Karen, you might try pausing it for a minute. There may be something going on with your internet connection. Pause it for a minute, not a minute, maybe 10 seconds. Let it buffer and see if that helps it. All right, next up, we did brunch at Beaumont with Lily and Denise. Lily and Denise work for me, and so we went to brunch after. Actually, that was a lot of fun. Then what else? What else? Oh, Nick and I went to the Luke Combs concert with two other artists, Mitchell Tenpenny and Jordan Davis. Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. We had so much fun. So much fun. All three of them were amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, good. It sounds like, I mean, I don't mean good, but Karen, I think maybe your internet connection. So see if that will fix it. All right, next up we have, oh yes, Nick and I went on a Sunday drive to Mantua, spelled Mantua, Mantua. That's totally, you would totally get that, right? Mantua. I always want to say Mantua. That's in northern Utah, to see the poppies, poppy fields in that area. You can kind of see a little bit behind us there. See all those little red dots? Amazing poppies, like fields of poppies. So cool. Just like out in the wilderness. All right, okay, we're just gonna keep going that way. Oh, we did a Harvey trip. So Harvey is our RV. Harvey trip to the, oopsie, Uinta Mountains to a place called China Meadows with our friends, the Petrowskis. We saw a moose. Always fun. After that trip, I came home and bought bear spray and a bear bell. We were in bear country because, you know, you're in the middle of the woods, in the mountains, you know, nature. We're in bear country. And so, yeah, we've been that kind of in bear country a couple times. And I started thinking, you know, we really should have bear spray and a bear bell just in case. A bear bell is just like something you wear on your person. It's like a bell, but it just, if you're walking and the bell is making a little bit of noise, then you're not going to maybe startle a creature in nature, right? And that's the whole point, is you don't want to startle a bear or any other wild animal. All right. I worked on, let's see, I guess, worked on, whatever. Released Happy Summer. I was trying to decide where to write. Happy Summer mini book kit. So, I mean, it's just a mismatch of things. A lot of times I'm writing what we have been watching on TV, or, you know, if we went out to dinner, or it's your list. You get to decide what you put on it, right? You get to decide what you put on it. And you might be like, well, I didn't travel. I didn't go to a concert. I didn't do this. I wasn't on TV. You know what I say? What book did you read? Did you go on walks? Did you get fresh flowers from the store? Did you eat artichokes? It's corn on the cob season. Did you have corn on the cob? I mean, just kind of, what have you been doing? What have you been doing for the month? It doesn't have to all be big things, right? We had a hailstorm. Big hail on the 21st. So when I looked to see what was going on, I felt a little bump, and that little bump was happening here, right? There's not much that I can do to get rid of that little bump when I'm writing, because it's on this side. My pencil board is here, so it's helping for anything that's here, but that side. So I just ran into a little bump, but I just wasn't sure what it was, so I wanted to look. All those things, kind of a good idea to check out before you start working on something. What do you have going here? What do you have going here? Can you put a pencil board here? As long as I'm not stamping anywhere around here, I'm good. Oh, I did a total closet rehaul and reorg. Oh my gosh, that has made, I can't even tell you how much joy and satisfaction that has brought to my life. That is in our master bedroom closet. Purged a ton of clothes, purged things that don't fit, purged things that fit but I never wear, purged things that I thought, I'm going to save this because when I get skinny again, I'll fit in it. Yeah, you know what? Not happen. So it's just going to go. It's going to go. If I get skinny again, then I'll go buy new clothes. So just, you know, sometimes those kind of things are just taking up space in your brain. I'm like, I got to get rid of it. So just, it's so organized. It makes me so happy. I can't even tell you. I've been working on my class for the Simple Stories retreat in September. That is done. I'm almost done with the instructions. It's not even due until June 15th. I'm very proud of myself. Very proud of myself for that, right? I can say that. We can say that. We purchased Flow. Flow, it's new to us, not new, but new to us. A little two-door Jeep that we can use to tow behind Harvey, our RV. And so we got that last month and have been having lots of fun with that. We drove up Big Cottonwood Canyon. That's one of the two big canyons that's by us. We had dinner at Silver Fork Lodge. And saw another moose. So, Studio 5 Flowers, Luke Combs concert. There's little Harvey camping out in China Meadow. There's the first moose. I also did a big kind of reorg in my craft room, which that is, this is behind me. So this is where I stand. That's all behind me. Everything is open there. All the drawers open. Next up, so there we are in flow. There's the moose. This one, we went to one more concert. Last weekend, we went to Little Big Town. Well, really, it was the George Strait concert, which he's really not my thing, but George Strait concert with Little Big Town. So good. And Chris Stapleton, which, oh, love him. All right. So that is basically everything I had on my list. All right. So there we go. That is about last month for the month of June. Now, I feel like I need one little thing right there, right? Guess what we need? We need a word strip. Right? I always say, if you've got a space and it looks like something's missing, the answer is a word strip sticker. So let's look at the sticker book for, actually, no, I don't want to do. I was thinking, it might be kind of fun to do one of those, but then you would kind of get lost because it's handwritten, you really wouldn't see it. All right, let's look in here and see word strips. There are word strips in here. I just don't know if I will want to use those. I don't know if I want to use a colorful one. Although, how about this one? Let's see if this works. Ooh, okay, hang on. Summer is a state of mind, right? Let's look at that. Look at it, fits perfectly. We're going to put that right there. Summer is a state of mind. It fits perfectly in that little space I had. All right, there we go. About last month is done for the month of June. Okay, again, I'm just going to clean a couple things up, but we're going to talk while I'm cleaning things up before we get ready for our next one. That is a project that if you keep up with it, it's awesome, right? Obviously, I keep up with it. I do it every month because I have to, right? Because you guys are expecting me to. But if you don't keep up with it every month, that is okay. Just make sure that you are taking the photos and make sure that you are writing things down, making a list somewhere of what you did throughout the month. Because if you're a month behind, if you haven't done May yet, you may still remember May. But if you haven't maybe done March yet, you might be kind of struggling when it comes to remembering what you did. All right, so take the photos, write the things down, and then you can do that list anytime, right? You can do that list anytime. All right. Let's get all of the summer snapshots things out of the way. If you are liking that summer snapshots collection, I do have a mini book project kit on my website with that. It's called Happy Summer. So you can look for that. All right. Summer is cleaned up. We are now moving on to just get some of these things out of the way. Let me get this one out of the way, and then we're ready. So we're now moving on to our second list. Our second list is This Is Us. All right, it is This Is Us. This Is Us. We are using the This Is Us stamp set, or I am using the This Is Us stamp set, which I had out. I remember putting it over here somewhere. There it is. It was face down. All right, using the This Is Us stamp set. So last year, I did a project kit called This Is Me. And there was a stamp set that went along with This Is Me. This Is Me is a list that we have now done twice. It's a list that I do once a year. Because I think it's just a fun way to recap what's happening in your life on a year-to-year basis. Kind of goes back to that whole concept of time capsule that we talked about earlier. Hang on, I need to put a little bit of glue behind that because it's not sticking now that I picked it up and put the washi down. So this is me. We did a couple weeks ago. I've done This Is Me twice, like I mentioned, once last year, once this year. And with This Is Me, I've used the same format both years. So I have a photo on the right-hand side, and then kind of my age, This Is Me, and then just the different things, a run-on list with things that kind of make me, right, at this age. Again, this is another really fun one that changes from year to year. So Lily's mom, another one. It'd be really fun if you did this type of list for Lily every year. Nancy Mars has done this for one of her grandsons, which I think is so fun. Same type of idea, but This Is Me, and you're just basically writing what makes you you or makes the person them. So it could be vital statistics, it could be just personality, it could be, whatever you want. So today we're going to take that same concept, This Is Me, and we're going to do a This Is Us. Do you know what I just remembered? I forgot to print the photo. Oopsie! I forgot to print the photo of Nick and I. Okay, well, I can't do that now. I can't print the photo now. So this is what we'll do. We'll still get our list ready, and then I will add the photo. Ooh, well, yeah. I'll add the photo. We'll make it work. Don't worry. And then tomorrow I will put the finished page in the Facebook group, and then we'll take a look at it when we're listing together again in 2 weeks. Darn it, Lael, I knew I forgot something. I'm like, really? There's only one photo I need to print today. Okay, whatever. All right, so what I thought we would do, I'm going to tell you a little behind the scenes here. We have done a lot of lists over the years, a lot, hundreds, probably 400 lists at least over the years, at least 400 lists. It seems like 400 years. We've done at least 400 lists over the years. And when this collection came out, this one is called Groovy Darlin'. It is linked in the description box of the video below under what I'm using as, everything that I was using on the last list. But when I saw this collection, I thought, I love this collection so much. It just makes me happy. It's so bright and fun, and it kind of reminds me of the 70s, and I just loved it. And so when I was coming up with our list for this week, I'm like, I've got the best idea for a list using this collection. Songs that turn 40 in 2024. And I had everything ready. The email almost went out. Literally, the email to everybody almost went out. Here are our lists and everything. And I went, songs that turn 40 in 2024. Like, have we done this list before? We did that list. Songs that turned 40 in 2024. We did it. Come on, it's in here. Where is it? We just did it. I mean, like a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was going to be so embarrassed. So my original plan was to, where is it, Lael? My original plan was to use this collection for that list. But obviously we're not going to use this collection for that list because we've already done it. Now, guess what? If you have not done that list, songs turning 40, that's movies. If you have not done that list, here we go. Songs turning 40 in 2024. If you have not done this list and you have or want to get the Groovy Darlin' collection, it would be perfect for songs turning 40 in 2024. I just can't believe I almost did that. You guys would have been like, what the heck? We did that one in April. Yeah, just a couple months ago. I forgot. So we're using this collection today for the This Is Us list, but we are also going to use the same collection in 2 weeks for another music-related list. All right, so that's the plan. That's the plan, but that's a little behind the scenes on my brain. All right, loved this paper. Loved this paper. It was so fun. So I thought what I would do, I thought this might be, again, remembering that we're going to kind of do this same kind of layout with title and list over here and photo over here. I thought it might be kind of fun to use this one here. And then I need something that's fairly plain on this side because this is just going to be a background. So I think those are the two papers that I will use. For this list, since I'm using two background papers, I am going to work on them off the page. What I mean by that is I can work on them this way, and when they're done, I can then adhere them back into the insert. So I'm going to keep this little guy kind of off to the side so we have a reference point. That's why I had the tape up there, I had the roller skates up there, I had the disco ball up there, literally because we were going to do a list about songs. But one of our lists in 2 weeks, this will be perfect because it's my favorite songs from the 70s. And then it totally works. All right, so here we go. We need to get out our trimmer. When I'm working with a base pattern, I start out with 4 3/4 by 8. All right, so 4 3/4. This is from a 6 by 8 paper pad, the Groovy Darlin 6 by 8 paper pad. We need to look at this. If that goes there, will that work there? What if it goes up here? No, I think it needs to go up here, more of the photo. Okay, so let me get back to what I was saying first. 6 by 8 paper pad. Our inserts are 5 by 8.25. So if I'm using a 6 by 8 paper, I already have a little bit of space at the top and bottom. So basically I need to make a little bit of space on the left and right as well. So that's why I go to 4 3/4. But I think what I might do here, what if we take off some from both sides? No, I was gonna take some up from both sides, but I like that part and I'm gonna lose a lot of that. So 4 3/4, I'm just doing that from the right edge. Now, when we trim off this extra piece, right? We always trim off an extra piece like that to get us to our 4 3/4. I always say you should save these extra pieces because sometimes we can use them in a list. Let's look over here. Sometimes we can use them in a list on the opposite page. Oh, like in this case. So this was the piece that I cut from here, and then actually this was on the back side pattern. Anyhow, but so you can take that extra little piece and have it help you kind of bridge that pattern over onto the other page. So I always say, save those little pieces because you never know. You never know what you might want to do with those. We're just checking to see if we had any more of those in there that I had done that to. Oh, there we go again. And in this case, for a 2-page spread, I only used one piece of pattern paper because I used that extra piece that we cut off over there. But I don't need them for this one because left and right. Now, over here, if I wanted to do the same kind of general design, let's measure this photo. This photo, ooh, would have been probably 3.5 by, since I can't see it, 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I'm gonna just write that down over here. 3.5 by 4 3/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock. Since I don't have my photo right now, I will take a piece of white cardstock and I'm going to create a little placeholder. 3.5 by 4 3/4. I'm really glad I wrote that down. All right, and maybe, whoops, 4 3/4. I'm gonna try this too. 4 3/4 by 4. All right. So this guy will be somewhere in here. That one, I think I like that one better. Yeah, for sure. I like that wider one. So that ended up being 4 by 4 3/4. And I just want to write that down. So when I print the photo, I remember. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of adhesive there. So I remember that that's where my photo's going. And that will be the photo of us, Nick and I. All right, I need to, before I get much further, round the outside corners. The inserts that I use have rounded corners, and so I like to round the outside corners of paper as well. So this is Groovy Darlin'. Any of you that like to go to country concerts, country western concerts, there's this whole like underlying theme of like a little bit cowboy. Look how fun that is. That pink cowboy boot with the bottom part of it is copper foil. All right, so now let's get our white for our list ready to go over here. Where's my pencil? Where is a pencil? Here we go. All right. Usually this ends up being about 4 or 3 3/4 by 7. And I'd eyeball it, but then we'll cut it and see what we end up with. 3 3/4. Isn't that funny? That's exactly where it is. And then I bet that is 7. Eyeball, and that is exactly 3 3/4 by 7. That's usually what it ends up being when I've got, you know, something going on over here. All right, so this guy, we'll just get adhered. This needs to be over here. That needs to move. All right. So start of our This Is Us list. Now, This Is Us, just because this is a list about my husband and myself, Nick and I, doesn't mean that you have to do it about a partner. It could be a friend. It could be a child. It could be a pet. It could be lots of different things. It could be a sibling. It could be a parent. Your us could be whatever you want us to be. So if you do not have a partner, or maybe you had a partner and you really don't want to do this list about that partner, then switch it up. Doesn't mean you can't do the list. You just define what your us is. And that's kind of the same case with my This Is Us project kit. So there's a Traveler's Notebook project kit, This Is Us themed. Same thing. You get to decide who us is. So I'm thinking I need this guy, a little bit of, I'm going to pull that back up again. I'm going to grab spun sugar, add a little bit of pink from the other side, using get these out of the way. A little foam dauber. Not pan dauber, foam dauber. Spun sugar. So this is my little storage case. These I have on the website, where you build your storage case for whatever your little inks are. It could be Distress Oxide, it could be Distress Inks, it could be Gina K, Stampin' Up, whatever it is. But it's a great way to store and organize all of your little foam toppers. So I'm taking that foam topper, I'm just going circular motion on that little ink pad there. I need to pull this back off. My little lifting tool. So I'm just sliding that underneath that piece so I can get it back off again. Ideally, I would have done this before I adhered it, but that was okay. I was able to pull that off pretty easily. When we were talking about songs before, Nancy said, with my age, I need songs of 50 years ago. So 2 lists that we've done in the last couple of months, movies turning 40 in 2024, songs turning 40 in 2024. It could be whatever. It could be movies turning 10, songs turning 10. It could be movies turning 100, movies turning 60, songs turning 20. Super easy to find. You go to Google and say movies turning 20 in, or Nancy, movies turning, songs turning 50 in 2024. There we go. And you'll find a whole list of songs. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not know. When we did both of those lists, I just, list the ones that pertain to me, right? But it's kind of scary when you think, oh my gosh, 40. Well, 40 was 1984. 1984 sounds like a lot less long time ago. You know what I mean? A lot more recent than when you say 40. Hello, my friend. Hi, Vicky. Hello, hello. How are you? Well, I know how you are. I won't ask that. I hope you're having a lovely Saturday, my friend. You need it. You need it. All right, so we inked up and we are doing our little outlining here. I'll hold that little inked up to the camera just so you can see it because it's super faint. You can kind of see it. It just kind of made that white not so stark against the pattern there. All right, so there we go. Now we need a title. So what I thought I would do, if I want to kind of do this similar type of thing, and if I'm planning on doing a This Is Us every year, I'd like to use a number. And if I want to use a number for us, that number would be 29. Because this year we celebrated our 29th anniversary. So I thought I could use 29. I need some number stamps. So let's look back here. I may just end up using, sorry, I got sidetracked, new stamps. I got sidetracked with the new stamps there. Maybe the focus numbers, right? Because I don't think, we really don't have big numbers. Oh, we do. Wow, okay, hold on. We do have big numbers. I always forget these. Now, those are really large. So maybe not Christine large. What if we look at Christine medium? Christine medium numbers. How are they in relation to the numbers on focus? Oh, they're a little bit bigger. So maybe we'll use Christine medium numbers solid. I think that's what we'll do. We will do that. Patricia said she loves the new lifting tool. Yeah, this is just one of those things. It is a really simple tool, but it's plastic, but a nice sturdy plastic, but it gets very narrow at the bottom, thin and narrow. So it's really easy to lift something up if you've already adhered it, right? Remember on the first one when I had to lift up those die cuts so I could slide the washing underneath? Very useful, helpful tool. Let's see. Dandy said, slightly off topic here. I just packed my assembled Lael Happy Travels album. I'm going to print photos every night and come home with the finished full Happy Travels. I love that. That's so smart. And excuse me. And you're ready. Wow. Interesting. I have not apparently used the stamp set before. I knew that because it was, I had to pull a little bit harder to get the plastic off. So here's a learning opportunity. Brand new stamp set. Photopolymer stamps are not ready to be used when you get them, when they are brand new. You need to condition them or prime them first because if you think about making muffins, if you don't have, well, usually you're probably not putting a cupcake cup in with muffins. But if you're making muffins, you probably spray Pam or put butter in the muffin tin so that the muffin batter doesn't stick, right? Very similar process when photopolymer stamps are made. I don't know about acrylic because I don't make acrylic stamps. I just, I don't manufacture, but you guys know my Lael by Mail stamps are photopolymer stamps made in the US. There's a similar process that happens when they make photopolymer stamps. They spray, we're just gonna make this really simple. They basically spray Pam into the mold before they add the batter, the muffin batter, right? They put something, a non-stick material into the mold of the stamp before they pour the material in so that that material comes back out. It doesn't stick. That means you have a little bit of that residue on your stamps. So if you start right out of the package, if you put ink on your stamps, a little bit of that residue is going to get in the way from your ink adhering to the stamp and you getting a nice even stamped impression with your ink, okay? And I didn't know that. I had to figure that out. There are a couple ways that you can prime or condition your stamps before you use them. I'm going to show you the way that I do it. We'll talk other ways you can do it, but this is what I do. I use just a white rubber stamp, and all of these things on the website. I use a white rubber stamp. No, I use a white rubber eraser. That is not a stamp. That's an eraser. Okay. I don't use this for anything other than this. I am rubbing that eraser across the top of all of those stamps. So when I get a brand new stamp set, before I use it, I do this to the whole stamp set. It's much easier to do to the whole stamp set as opposed to one stamp at a time as you use it. Once you've used the stamp set once, and you know they've all been done. All right, so I have rubbed that eraser across the top. Now I need to get any little eraser tailings off of that stamp set. So I'm just taking my chamois again, and I am just cleaning off that stamp. I don't want any of that little eraser dust. Now, you don't want to pretend like you're in 3rd grade and you got the answer on the math test wrong and you erase so hard that you are, erasing a hole through the paper. You don't want to be generating so many eraser tailings that there are eraser chunks all over your desk. So just a little bit. I am completely kind of cleaning all that off. And then I want to dry it. Again, that drying process is super important before you apply ink, especially if you're using a pigment-based ink, like a Distress Oxide. We don't want that ink to react to the water, the moisture on that stamp set. So that is now ready to go. I'm ready to start working with my ink. A really quick visual. That's one way. That's how I do it. Another way that you can do it is just stamp. But don't stamp on your project. Stamp in your little test notebook or in a piece of paper or what have you. So in this example here, I did not prime or condition my stamp first. I just applied ink directly to it and started stamping. So when you see that first 5, you'll see there's splotches in the ink. Now there's nothing wrong with that. That's not the look that I personally like. I like a really nice solid stamped impression. So I re-inked again and stamped again. What's interesting about the second image is you see there are spots that weren't here before, right? So I re-inked again, stamped again. Look at the third one. There's more spots in that third one than either of the first 2. I re-inked and stamped again, and that final 5, now it looks good. So for me, it took 4 times of just stamping in order to get all of that invisible material off, right? So you can do that. It's just going to take a little bit more time and a little bit more ink. That's another way you can do it. Now, some people say they'll just stamp on their skin. That I've never quite understood because I wear lotion and dry skin and I live in Utah. It's like an incredible desert. So super dry. But if I'm doing that on my skin to get rid of that coating, well, all I'm doing is get rid of the coating and then picking up coating from lotion and things like that on my arms. So a couple of different ways that you can do it. Doesn't matter which way you do, but I definitely recommend that you do one of those when you have brand new stamps. Otherwise, you may not be happy with the stamped impression. All right, so 29. I am doing 29. One quick thing, in all of the Christine number stamp sets, you may think you're missing a 6 or you may think you're missing a 9. You're not. Turn the 6 upside down for a 9, 9 upside down for 6. All right, so here we go. There are 29. Now, so what I thought I would do, I'll stamp 29 up here, and I have the 29 in the Christine medium numbers. I think will be fun because it's a little bit more of like a whimsical to coordinate with this collection than with those focus numbers that I used in that list. So I smell Asiago bagels in the other room. That smells so good. All right, let's just pretend. So if we do 29 like this, if 29 is there, the one thing I think I want to switch up for this one, I really need to because these numbers are wider than the ones I used here. I did my title to the right of the numbers here. I am going to do my title below the numbers on this one. So we put this one away and grab back out this guy, the This Is Us stamp set. So This Is Us. I can put This Is Us right below that. I could put I Love Us below that. Lots of different options with this particular stamp set, but I think I'm going to do This Is Us because it's kind of like This Is Me, but it's us. Little Reggie hair there. Reggie the cat. All right, so This Is Us. I don't need to do anything with that one yet. Okay, so if this is going to get stamped right there, what color do I want to do for the title? The pink I used, Spun Sugar, will, I think, be too light. I don't think we'll be able to see it very well. That, I don't know, that could be kind of fun. Maybe that's like Barn Door. That kind of has or a crackling campfire. I don't know though. I don't know. Whenever I stamp red, it seems angry. It's like angry. So I'm not going to do the red. Angry. What if we use, and I don't know. That would just seem really angry to me. And so this is 29 blissful years of marriage, not angry 29, right? Not an angry 29. Saltwater taffy. I think saltwater taffy might work. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at saltwater taffy. What we're going to end up doing, friends, hang on, let me get saltwater taffy. Oh, we already had them out. We already used saltwater taffy. Well, we tried to use it earlier, right? What we will do, we will work on this list probably for another 15 minutes or so. This one we are going to finish when we're together again in 2 weeks. And we'll jump to our last list that we're going to have time to do today, and that one is What a Day. And we need to do What a Day because it's What a Day for June. We haven't done What a Day for June yet, and I want to make sure we get to that. So that's what we will be doing. That's the plan for the rest of our time. Okay, we're gonna like that? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's too much. It's just too much. It's just not quite right. So I don't want to do that. I'm not happy with that one. So I could, maybe what I'll do here is, maybe I'll end up doing that in black. I'm going to do that in black. And then I'm going to bring in a lot more color from some of the stickers and die cuts. I think it's just going to be a little bit harder to find a color there that I'd be happy with. And I know I could find a yellow, but then that's just a heck of a lot of yellow. I don't want to do that. So we're going to stamp that in black. It'll be nice and prominent. So what I've done here, you may have noticed I only put my 2 on this block. So Marilee asked a great question. Why not green? Because what I'm worried about, that green, when I put that green over here with that yellow, it's just a little bit muddier than I think I want to go. So let's look for a green that might work with that. Actually, those greens are probably going to be, let's see if they're in here, or Shabby Shutter's not quite right. So crushed olive, which, I mean, it goes well, but then when you get it over here, it's just a lot of kind of that same meh color. Or peeled paint. Peeled paint would go really well. It goes well here, but then this is so, that kind of mustard color. That's what would steer, that's why I've steered away from kind of using the green. But you certainly could use that. All right, I have the 2 and the 9 on 2. Well, I will be stamping them separately. And that's just a me thing. I like to be able to get my stamps fairly close together when I stamp them. And if I put them on the same stamping block, together, then I'm kind of constrained in terms of how close I can get those together because there's a little bit of rubber polymer between both of those. All right, so let's see if that's going to be about right. I think that'll be about right. So the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to draw a little line there with my pencil that I will come back and erase later. But that is so that my 2 and the 9 will be fairly even with each other, right? Since I'm stamping them separately. Now I just want to see where I want to do this guy. Okay, so make a little mark right there. All right, so that's where I want to go. Getting my black out back, my black back out again. Ooh. In this case, I flipped my block. Instead of doing this way, I'm doing this way because it's smaller stamping block. It's a lot harder for me to hold on to if I'm going the other way. If you were wondering why I just switched that up. And if not, never mind. And if not, never mind. Well, this may be an angry 2-9 as well. You're like, well, you thought the red was angry. This black is really angry. Okay, there we go. And clean this off. We'll see. I may end up doing black and white photo there. Where did that go? Where did my number stamps go? Oh, there they are. There they are. So if you were like, ooh, I kind of like the look of this Groovy Darling collection, but I really wish I could see more. That reminds me of Little Shop of Horrors. But I really wish I could see more of the collection. You can. I did a What's New Wednesday, actually the last 2 Wednesdays, where I show you all 4 brand new collections from American Crafts. Groovy Darling, Vicky's Bold and Bright, Maggie Holmes Forever Fields, and Paige Evans Adventurous. So you can see my What's New Wednesday where I basically show you all of those products up close. All right. Diane, is there an Epson-ish app for a MacBook? I struggle finding pictures easily on my phone. I don't have enough context there, Diane. I'm not exactly sure what you are asking for. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. 1 hour to go. All right. Thank you, Terry. Timekeeper Terry. I love it. You're always so good. You're always so helpful to me. You guys are all always so helpful. But I always think of Colleen when I think of 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I think of plug in your phone. And for Terry, I always think of, do we have a time limit? Do we have a hard stop? All right, 29. This is us.